Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Show. A little bit later on this hour, we'll be catching up with Martin Dowie, Head of Media at Scarborough Athletic, to see how things are going on down the A171. But Whitby Town have drawn Whitby Fisherman Society, and their media man is Paul Cull, and he was excited, looking forward to the chance of playing against Town.
Well, yeah, I suppose you kind of pleased that you get to play them. You know, it'd have been a nightmare to go there and get knocked out by one of the local sides and not get a chance to play at Whitby Town, you know, because it's a great opportunity for us as a team. So, yeah, bring it on, mate. That's what we're there for, isn't it?
That's right. And no doubt the lads themselves, when they find out, there's going to be some excitement. There'll be plenty of Whitby Town supporters amongst your squad as well, I imagine.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, lads that have been on the terraces and watched them and now getting a chance to play against them, you know. And it's always nice to get a game on a turn, but so it should be good fun. It's something to build for. It's also nice and quite early, so it's something to maybe try and get lads a bit fitter earlier in pre-season this year. Obviously, after what's been a stop-start a couple of years, so it should be good.
And the Whitby Town Community Cup itself, obviously bringing together Whitby Fisherman Society, Slights FC and Fishburn Park. It seems like Whitby Town are really trying to reach out to local teams.
Definitely, yeah. It's great. It's a great idea. As soon as I heard there was a chance of it, you know, we were all keen, the lads were up for it, and it's nice to have a connection, you know, because I do get a bit of stick that there's no real local lads playing and stuff like that, but you can only choose from what's there, so it's nice to see us connecting. I think the club over the last few years anyway has become more community-based, and it, you know, seems to be a few more fans there kind of thing, and seems to be a lot more, I don't know, the local community, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and if, for example, Fisherman's did, you know, they gave a good performance, some players stood out, and Whitby Town wanted to take a closer look at them. I mean, how would you feel about that?
I mean, obviously, as a 37-year-old goalkeeper, ain't got many years left. I want to play with the better players that I can at our level. But for these young lads we've got coming through, it would be great. Great opportunity, you know, even if they just spent the pre-season maybe with Whitby Town and did a bit of training with them, and then, you know, if it didn't lead to something, or even better, if it does lead to something, you know, it'd be great for them. You know, these lads have an opportunity, and it's going to be a chance for them all to impress, really, I guess. Yeah,
and I think, is it something that as a local lad yourself, do you think it is something that would add numbers to the attendance as well, if there were some more local names in the Whitby Town side?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think it would. I think it would actually. To be fair, I remember it was a few years ago. Ben Sullivan signed on when he was with us, and I remember going to a game on a Tuesday night. I didn't think he actually got on in the end, but there was probably 50 more lads there because like he was a local lad there, you know. And it's, you know, it'd be nice. Like the lads would love it, you know. Like I mean, when I grew up, there was Taddy Smith playing, Paul Wellham and people like they're all like Whitby lads. It was brilliant. Steve Ireland, you know, they were like. You know, you saw them around town and they were playing on a Saturday, you know. It was great for the young lads to see that, you know.
Yeah. And, of course, the North Riding Football League at the moment is in all grassroots football in lockdown, and a little bit of uncertainty as to what's going to happen next. Have they been in touch with yourself? Have they asked the opinion of yourselves as one of those clubs?
Yeah. They asked every team in our league were emailed, I think. That's what they wanted to do, whether they wanted to continue or whether they wanted to stop, or if they did want to continue, what ideas they have. So we were definitely up for continuing, and I think Mark Starr put a couple of ideas across, maybe got cup competitions and stuff like that they could maybe do. But it's just wait and see. I mean, I saw the Beckett League, they've decided to stop. The Scarborough League have gone today, they've decided to stop. So it doesn't look great, like, but just some competitive football would just be nice for lads, because, you know, like you say, it'll be 2 years lost almost now, won't it, you know?
Indeed. And hopefully there might be a solution close to hand. We'll have to keep that under our hats at the moment, but there might be a solution close to hand involving Coasting County Radio. But we wish you all the best. It's a great draw for the Fishermen, and they'll be taking on a full-strength Whitby Town side as well, Cully, which is very exciting, I imagine, for your lads.
Yeah, very exciting, yeah. Probably a bit worrying for me because I've not picked that ball out of the net too many times. But yeah, it will be great. It'll be great fun, and it'll be fun. I imagine there'll be a few there as well, because obviously there's not been a lot of football that people can attend, so this will probably be quite early on in the season, you know, like early on. So I think it should be quite good. It should be quite good, but a bit nerve-wracking maybe, but something we've got to enjoy and embrace, you know. It's not often things like this happen, really, is it, you know?
That was Paul Cull, media man at Whitby Fisherman Society. They will be taking on Whitby Town, and one of their joint managers is Nathan Haslam.
And the directors came to me and Lee a few weeks back in reference to this, and we had a smile straight away. It was the right thing to do. Great for the local community. All clubs are in very close proximity to each other. And from a club point of view of ours, it's massively beneficial from a playing side as well, because it's right at the start of pre-season, and it allows us to get minutes into the legs rather than do some hill running. And
the big thrill for the opponents as well. I mean, this is going to be a Whitby Town first team, isn't it?
Of course it is. Yeah. Well, it's highly likely. I mean, me and Lee have been speaking already about next season. We've got a great group of lads that we're really happy with. There may be a tweak here and there as players do become available, but yeah, it's going to be a full strength squad, and we're really looking forward to it.
Do you have names penciled in, lined up for perhaps coming in next season?
Well, you have them initial talks, just planting seeds more than anything. It's very, very early days. It's one of those, nothing will really reveal itself, I wouldn't have thought, until, you're talking probably June, July time, really. But it's one of them, we're happy with what we've got, but ultimately, if the right players become available, we'd be stupid not to explore it. So we're open to bringing in one or two as well.
Excellent. And the club financially, are things okay? Are they on an even keel? Do you think that the pandemic won't have affected Whitby Town too badly if we are able to restart in August?
Well, I think it's credit to everyone at the club, including the volunteers. We've got people behind the scenes like Eddie Macker doing, lots and lots of fundraising, and it's things and people like that we need to run these community clubs. And I think at Whitby we're very, very lucky because everybody's pulling in the right direction. And we've had chats about next season, and we're going to be in a healthy enough position to move forward. So it's credit to everyone involved with the club really on that one.
And return this as a community cup, is it a chance also to have a look at some of these local players and to see if any of them are perhaps up to town standard and worth having a punt on?
Well, of course it is. It's every opponent that we play under, even in league games, it's one of those. If a player stands out, it's pretty obvious. Afterwards it goes in the black book and you keep tabs on it. So yeah, it's an opportunity for any of these local boys to perform. They're obviously playing against higher opposition. It is only a friendly game, but nevertheless, it's an opportunity for them to impress. And
in terms of how the pandemic has progressed, of course, it's affected a great deal of people. How have you got through things, Nathan? What's been your coping mechanism?
Lockdown for me, it's kind of, I think it reset everything really. I've come from being out on the road, travelling and meeting clients, and getting some really bad habits, eating habits, and over the years I've definitely piled of pounds on since I finished playing. But since the pandemic hit us, it's kind of given me a kickstart to get fit. The only way you can leave the house is to go shopping or to go do a bit of fitness, and I've managed to build myself up from probably being able to run a couple of 100 metres to 5Ks now. So I'll be putting the lads through the paces and joining in this pre-season, that's for sure. But fitness, has helped me massively. It's from a mental health perspective as well. And you're not just looking at the four walls of the house all the time. You're out there and you're getting some fresh air. So yeah, I can't recommend that enough.
Fantastic. I was going to say, I know the lads have all been weighed before the end of football. So are you including yourself in that? Are you going to be subject to that?
I'll be getting paid a bonus because I've lost so much weight. But they've all got weighed. But that was all based around a return ready for December. And then obviously we went sideways and it got put back, and now obviously the season's finished. But the idea is we're gonna meet up when we're allowed to do so. Probably 2 or 3 sessions, fun, social. The lads can see each other, and then we'll set the goals ready for pre-season. But again, the fit boys, they're going to look after themselves. But moving forward, it's one of those where to be in this Whitby Town team and squad, you're going to have to be really, really fit moving forward for next season. And 95% isn't good enough. You've got to be really fit. So that's going to be a message to the boys. And, they're going to go away pre-season. They'll come in. We'll obviously tweak them. We'll get them even fitter. Obviously, the games will come in. But the plan is to move forward at the season to be the fittest team in the league, basically. So, yeah, high standards.
I know you've got a few strings to your bow, coach, manager, football agent, but also mechanic, I understand.
Well, I do a little bit. Again, it's probably lockdown, and it's my bike that's kind of got me into mechanics, really. Before that, useless, absolutely useless. But, yeah, I get my hands dirty now, and bikes, cars, I seem to be into it all at the minute. So, yeah, it's become a pastime hobby, I think.
There you go. I was going to say, just to give you a little bit of context to that, as we were arranging our interview, Nathan said he'd been in the garage just checking out the car and making some changes there. So fantastic stuff. That's how he keeps busy, but brilliant. And we look forward to this big tournament, and hopefully it'll bring some big crowds in, but also maybe just bring the community a little bit closer together as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that, like I say, we're very much so looking forward to it. I think it gives the locals a chance to look at us as a squad. Like you've said, you've touched on it. It gives us a chance to look at local players as well. But it's all friendly competition. And at the end of it, there's obviously there's a cup to be won as well. So bonus on that one.
That was Nathan Haslam, one of the joint managers at Whitby Town. Well, when we come back, we're going to be getting a Scarborough perspective with Martin Dowie.